Thanks tonight day.
Don't fight it. It's time to go up a size. This is the biggest.
This is the biggest.
Our biggest show.
The Hodaki Big Show. With Jason Hoyt, Mike Minogue and Keezy.
Oh, g'day, you mad bastards. Great to have your company this Tuesday afternoon, the 7th of November 2023. And you, my friends, are listening to The Big Show, brought to you by Night Day. And Mogi and your tidy whitey, looking hot as ever, mate. How's life?
Going pretty grousey, you mad doggy, you sick son of a bee. We creep ever closer, don't we, Jase, to summer?
Yes, we do, mate.
Day by day, and it's really warming up out there, and I, for one, am all for it.
I'm loving it, mate.
Yeah, mate.
You were talking in the podcast about how it's given you a bit of an itchy anus, but that's another thing.
Yeah, it is.
Listen, Pugs, how's life for you, you mad bastard?
Yeah, good, man. Not degrees, but I'm happy to be here with you guys.
Degrees,
yeah,
man.
it's good.
Oh, what a
It's having
brown
another
nose.
degrees,
No,
eh?
no.
Yeah,
not like that.
Jeez, God.
Get your nose out of there, it's itchy.
Yeah, I reckon. Hey, now listen, really big show. Oh, by the way, I'm fine, guys.
Oh, cool.
Can I just say I'm loving life at the moment?
Can I just say both you guys are wearing the same shirt?
Well,
Identical.
There is no similarity whatsoever in the shirts that we're wearing, Mogi.
Except they're both plaid.
Are you looking through your left eye at the moment?
Both plaid shirts? Would you
Well-
give me that?
Vaguely.
Okay.
Vaguely.
Hey, can I just say that it's Melbourne Cup Day today?
Yes.
Big day. It's the day that two nations stop, Hoity J.
Exactly, my friend. I want to know, for all the people out there, text us on 3483 if they've got the old office pool going on.
Oh, yeah.
You know, where you chuck a bit of cash that way and you pick a random horse. How many people out there are doing that at the moment? And we'll be focusing on the Melbourne Cup because a lot of people don't know this about us, Mogi. You and I have a lot of expertise when it comes to racehorses.
Well, certainly a lot of experience within the industry, that's for sure.
Great stuff, mate.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
The Big Poll.
Well, of course, it had to be this. The Melbourne Cup, yay or nay?
yeah.
Yay or nay?
Yay.
Oh, incidentally, just on that, by the way, Pugs, do we get any texts in about any office sort of
Yeah.
stuff going on?
Hey guys, I'm not going into the office Melbourne Cup draw. Seems the bosses every year get all the good top winning horses. I think it's rigged.
Oh,
there
the
is
old
that.
rigging.
Yeah, there is that.
Yeah, there is a bit of rigging that can go on.
Well,
but
I've had 11 of them here at Radio Hodaki over the years.
You've won 11.
No, I've never won any of them.
Right.
Not even gotten the top three. Because you know, often you have the sweepstake, the top one gets the most money, second and third place type thing.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a bit of a scam around it, to be honest. There's so many horses in it.
Sure.
And oftentimes, like, yeah, I'm the same as you. I've been in it for, probably 3 or 4 years now, and I never won anything. But not only have I never won it here, I've never won it anywhere.
Same.
And I've been in a sweepstake from probably the age of 5. I grew up next to a family of Catholics, and we were Catholics, which meant we all loved a beer and a durry and a bet on the horses.
a bit of a flutter.
Bit of a flutter. So that was from the age of about 4 or 5 years old. And yeah, I've never won a sweepstake. Picked a billion winners, Cornellas, trifectas, you name it. But when it comes to the random nature of a sweepstake, I just can't get any luck. But this year I'm feeling good about it, man. This year is my year.
Weirdly enough, Mogi, I'm in the same frame of mind, actually. I'm feeling quietly confident. And I don't know what it is. But you, Pugs, you were the one that organised it this year, you massive backbone.
It's the first time I've kind of got amongst it, to be honest. It's never really been my thing majorly, but like I thought we're all doing it, I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. I've got number 3 without a fight. He's sitting at around about $6. And there's a couple of people that weren't here today, so I've also got Vauban, which is out of France, and that's at $4.20. So a couple of favourites there. Pretty stoked with that. And then there's some pretty rank outsiders there I see that you've got, Pugs. But that's how it goes, brother.
Yeah,
you know?
I don't even know which one I got.
I'll be honest with you, I got Virtuous Circle, the New Zealand horse there.
Nice.
So I'm very, very excited about that.
I was actually hoping to swap with somebody who had the looming proximity of death, number 27.
Right.
But they swapped with somebody else who had pubic management, so I couldn't get my hands on that.
Yes. Yeah. Pubic management, one of the favourites in the race. That's going to be an absolute doozy. So how do you actually feel about the Melbourne Cup? I love it. I genuinely love it. It's a bit of an event, isn't it? People get along, get excited.
It is an event, man. I think there's a couple of sides to it. You know, I've been to some bloody doozies, mate. You and I have, and
yes.
Wow. I remember going to one, and God, these coming around the final bend there, and just absolutely, I can't remember what year it was, but absolutely neck and neck. And one of the jockeys there just sort of shouldered into his mate there as they came to the line. They've all gone sort of arse over head and all that sort of thing. One of the horses collapsed. Old mate's gone through and won it convincingly. And of course, I've had to put the sheet up for the other horse there, and that's a hell of an end to the race.
Yeah, it is. I remember you telling me the horrific story because you have been involved quite intimately with the races where you were doing the starter's gun.
Yeah.
You won't know this, Pugs. And all the horses you were saying had lined up and were ready to go. You fired the starter's gun. Unfortunately, you fired it in the line of the horses and took them all out.
Yeah, there was 24 starters. I took out 23.
Oh, it was 23. Yeah, it wasn't all of them.
So it didn't get through normally you'd be considered yourself unlucky to be drawn on the outside, but in this case that was the only horse left standing.
Yes, but even that was a bit nicked, so you had to put the tent up anyway. But
The Hodaki Big Show Podcast.
now listen, Melbourne Cup, Jay, funnily enough, Mogi, you and I have a bit of history in that regard.
Yeah, man. Well, we've attended a few together, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
There just sort of pretty steamed, but...
And can I just say, just for the record here, cool hat Mogi at the Melbourne Cup, Pugs.
Don't even get me started.
Oh, mate,
No
so
doubt.
good.
It's done pretty well in the fashion stakes, no surprises there, Pugs.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, I was sort of, my love for racehorses, I was born in Levin. Levin is a huge horse racing sort of town, had its own racetrack there for a long time, which has sort of fallen into disrepair now, but the Bayer Classic ran out of there, and then, of course, the now out of Otaki. But yeah, so I sort of got into it, and I was a stable boy from a young age, which is where you and I met, Jase.
Yeah. Well, just on that front, I mean, I had a close affinity to horses as well from a very early age. I was raised by a horse for a little while.
Yeah.
Breastfed by a horse, and so yeah.
Right.
There was just this connection. I was in a band, I was abandoned in the bush somewhere, and a horse found me, and I suckled away. But yes, we met as stable boys. Yes, we did.
He was a stallion, wasn't he? Anyway, we sort of got into it, and then a long line of breeding, and we just sort of lucked upon an incredible bloodline somehow, and got into our training, etc., etc. Next thing you know, we'd sort of. We were pretty deep, I guess, into the racing in New Zealand, and we got sent over with a horse to the Melbourne Cup. It qualified. We went over there, and it was our job to take the horse on the plane.
Yes.
They get stressed out, man. I don't know if you've ever had a cat in a car before when you've been doing,
I have.
Yeah, when you've been doing donuts and that,
No, I haven't.
They don't like it, and so it's a bit like that with a horse in a plane.
Yes, and it was, by the way, it was a filly.
Oh yeah,
passing wind.
Hell of a horse it was.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was, the reason they came up with that name, because it would pass you like the wind, it would just blow straight past you. And it stunk of dung. And so anyway, we're preparing this filly there for the race, and of course back in those days things were a bit more relaxed, and you could sort of fill them up a little bit on a hay, a little bit of maple syrup, and a hell of a lot of methamphetamine.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
Well, as we said back then, juice them up a bit, Pugs.
Get
Juice
them
them
going.
up a bit.
Yeah.
Get them a bit
Not so
revved.
many regulations
Nah,
back in the day.
Well,
it was-
you were taking it your word back in those days, weren't
Right.
you, Mogi?
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
what I mean?
They sort of wanted you to be a man of your honour, but that didn't take into account what the horse wanted. So there was a bit of a science to it. Unfortunately, we didn't understand the science, and we overdosed passing wind.
Well, it was like one of those scenarios where surely the more the better.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It was a big bastard of a syringe.
Yeah. Well, next thing you know, she's dropped dead. But as luck would have it,
And boy, did she pass some wind when she did that.
And as luck would have it, the week of the Cup, they always have a fancy dress, the night before. And Jase and I, we had gone as far lap, hadn't we? And we had one of those suits there. You were the arse end and I was the front.
And can I just say I was the arse end for obvious reasons, fellas?
Yeah, that's right, mate.
The
Yeah.
smell.
And so we sort of thought, well, there's the only thing for it because our jobs are on the line here. And we thought to ourselves, well, if we can fool the jockey,
Yes.
then we might be in with a chance here. And we did.
Totally, we did.
And as it came in, it turned out we actually finished a very credible 4th place.
Oh my God, in the horse costume.
In the horse costume. Yeah. I mean, we had the rest of the methamphetamine. We were going like the clappers.
Oh, mate.
Jesus.
We were going hammer and tongs there, Pugs.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast.
My wife and I are a little bit concerned at the moment, Mogi. You'll know that we've just had Guy Fawkes.
Oh, yeah. I think the whole country did.
Yeah, I think they did. I think everyone was paying it, apart from Pugs, who's way up in the wops.
Yeah, that's right.
No, we
Hear
had
or
it
see
out
anything.
there too.
Right.
I didn't.
And because, of course, our dog goes crazy whenever the fireworks go off, we got her a massive amount of drugs this time, which she's been taking drugs the last time, but just not enough, as it turns out. And so we have been drugging her up big time. And she's just loving life at the moment. And our concern, I was talking to my wife last night, this is before it got dark, and I said, do you think we should give her some more drugs just in case? Because I live out west. She's cowboy country out there, you know what I mean? A lot of people just go nuts and they go on forever, Guy Fawkes. And we're like, yeah, let's do that. So we drugged her up again, and then we were both really concerned that we're turning our dog into a drug addict, into a junkie.
Yes.
Because it's very appealing. She's very affectionate. She's quiet. She's relaxed. She just chills out. Really shithouse in the mornings.
Yeah.
But we suddenly went, oh my God, is that what we're doing? Are we creating a drug addict in our house?
And the real problem that you have when you turn, and it's a real thing.
Yes.
Because it's so relaxing and it gets rid of all that stress that they're otherwise suffering from. They go, God almighty, why haven't I had this before?
Yes.
But the problem that you're obviously generating there is it's very difficult for them to generate the income to be able to buy drugs. Most of the time they're very reliant on you as the owner to be able to supply the drugs, and you're going to sort of moderate that supply.
Yes.
So you'll often see dogs that'll be out walking the street walkers.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we've been supplying the drugs, and if we stop it suddenly, we don't know what she's going to do to get the drugs.
Well, this is it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And she's actually got a location finder on her now,
Right.
on her collar. You know, I don't want to be up at 3 o'clock in the morning searching the CBD for my dog. You know
That's
what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
Because she's just gone completely AWOL, and she's hanging out, as it were.
Well, this is something that's happening a lot because there is, there's a lot of financial pressure. People are struggling with the stresses. There is a lot of the drug use happening.
Yes.
I know that there's packs of dogs out west doing ram raids.
Yeah, totally, mate. And this is the thing, you get them with a bad pack of dogs, and it's, she's
That's
all
right.
over.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So it is a concern, but you've got to sort of balance it up. Do we just keep doing it for our own sanity?
Sure.
And do we just keep giving her drugs so that she doesn't end up doing all that stupid stuff trying to find her own?
Well, that's the thing, because at least if you're giving her the drugs, you know that she's in a safe place while she's doing it.
Exactly.
It's when they get away from you, then that sort of becomes a concern. I don't know. Another option, of course, is just back paddock.
Yeah, there is that. Yeah. I mean, we'll give it some drugs first, obviously, so it wouldn't be too horrific. You know what I mean? Yeah, no, good point, actually. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah. It's stressful, man,
Yeah.
raising a young dog these days.
Yeah. She can be a real bitch, I tell you.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast.
So we're awaiting the kickoff for the Melbourne Cup. The interesting thing about it, they talk about it's a race that stops two nations, but New Zealand has two horses and Aussie has two horses in it, which is quite remarkable when you think about it. That Aussie, it's in their backyard. They've only got two horses running.
It's an outrage.
Yes.
Frankly.
Heaps of Irish, French, all over the shop.
There's 18 French horses, 23 Irish horses. There's 9 from Montenegro, 4 from Casablanca, and 2 from Papua New Guinea.
Yeah.
So it's a diverse field, and there was a time when it'll only be your Australians. They wouldn't let any other horses into it. Then the New Zealand horses started creeping in there as well.
Yes.
And now there's a massive amount of horses, and obviously we're just delaying here while we wait for all the horses to be loaded into the bird cage there.
Yes.
There's a few with a few jitters. They get a bit jittery because it's all the meth running through their veins there.
Absolutely.
They don't want to be enclosed. They just want to run, goddammit. They want to run.
Free me, damn it.
Yeah,
Free
that's
me.
right. And So we've got 3 that are waiting to get into the cage, and then we'll be jumping. Unfortunately, Jase, there won't be a kick-off to the race today. No ball involved this year. That's every second year they have to play with a ball.
Yes.
Always more entertaining for people.
I'll tell you what, though. Yeah, there's always a few at the Melbourne Cup that get a bit tired. They sense the occasion. They know it's a big one, but it looks like we might be locked and loaded.
Here we go.
Turn it up, Pugs.
This time, beginning well towards the inside was Magical Lagoon with also Serpentine, and not too far away Absurd and also Vauban. Out deeper on the track, Future History and also Right You Are coming over, and also Vow and Declare is 4 and 5 deep, and at this point of the race is about 2 off the lead and trying to push up from Carla Poor. They were followed next in the field by In Between Horses True Marvel. Military Mission is next, and just ahead of it is Absurd and also Vauban along the inside. Next is Gold Trip as they come down the straight with just over a lap to go. Next is Listochka, who's 4 deep around Shiraz and Without a Fight. They were followed by Ash Run, Break Up, Interpretation, Sulcum. Towards the back, More Felons and also Akita Sushi, and 2 further back is Virtuous Circle at the tail of the field. As they leave the running, the leader Serpentine by a length. In second, Future History. Third is Magical Lagoon and Vow and Declare. Fourth, one off the fence. 2 lengths to Right You Are and Vauban, followed by Absurd. Carla Poor is 3 wide. Next along the inside is Gold Trip Listochka. In Between Horses, Military Mission and Even Speed in the Cup from Alan Kerr. They were followed one off the fence by Deshaun Sweet Jr. True Marvel 3 wide. Well back Without a Fight, Ash Run, Shiraz. Next along the inside, Sulcum, Break Up, Interpretation. Towards the back of the field, More Felons, Akita Sushi. And last of all, Virtuous Circle. 1,700 metres to go in the Lexus Melbourne Cup. Serpentine is the leader. From on the outside, Carla Poor and Future History is third. A length and a half, Magical Lagoon and also Vow and Declare, and they get away at this stage as they reach the 1,500 metres. They're 4 lengths in front of Right You Are and Vauban, saving every inch of ground. A length and a half, the stable made Absurd, and then came Gold Trip. A length away, Lescotch is 3 wide at this stage, and then came Military Mission. A length away in the field is True Marvel, and then came Alan Kerr, Deshaun Sweet Jr. Without a Fight, Shiraz, well back in the field, well back 2/3 down as Ash Run, Sulcum and Break Up, and they were followed by More Felons as they string right out at the 1,000 metres. Akita Sushi is well back in the field as well, and towards the back, Interpretation and Virtuous Circle. So it's Serpentine running this along very solidly midway towards the 800 metres. It's a true staying test by 2 lengths to Carla Poor and Future History. Vow and Declare is nice and close, 3 or 4 off them. They were followed by Right You Are. Vauban's only about 4 or 5 off them. Absurd the outside. Gold Trip is tanking through, needs runs. Deshaun Sweet Jr.'s wedging through them. And Alan Kerr, plenty of hopes around the corner. Into the straight in the Lexus Melbourne Cup. And here's Vauban on the outside of Future History and Vow and Declare between them. Absurd is also chiming in. 400 metres to go. It's Absurd moving up on the outside for Zach Purden. A length in front, but Without a Fight is running on right down the centre of the track. Without a Fight up to Absurd, Vow and Declare and Shiraz the bolter. It's Without a Fight, 100 metres to go, 2 or 3 lengths in front, coming away from Shiraz and also Sulcum. Without a Fight, Mark Zara, a Melbourne Cup champion, wins it by 2 lengths. Second in the race was Sulcum, third Shiraz. They were followed by a photo for fourth, Ash Run to Deshaun Sweet Jr. Then Interpretation. Next in the field, Vow and Declare from More Felons. Absurd ran a race, Break Up, Military Mission. Well back in the field then Akita Sushi in company with Future History Listochka. Well back Alan Kerr with Carla Poor, Vauban. Then came Magical Lagoon, Serpentine. One of the last to complete the course was Gold Trip, and Virtuous Circle was the last, and being pulled up at the 200 metres, Right You Are. For the first time since the White Mare...
How good! I tell you what, that was a bloody good call, I thought, Mogi. A very good call.
No, who cares, man?
I care.
Well, I don't.
It's an art form. But Without a Fight, running away with it. Magnificent.
Well, I don't know why you're so happy, man.
Yeah, I know.
Did you have it Without a Fight?
No, I didn't.
Thank you.
I'm filthy about it.
I think, I had Without a Fight. That
In
was
the
cool. I
sweepstake,
did,
you had
yeah,
it.
in the office sweepstake there. I wasn't even looking at what I had, but that's
How
that's
much
pretty
you
cool.
win for that?
I don't know what the total was in the end. I just collected the money.
Is I think about
$100. Somebody's just signaled to me from out in the
$100.
$100.
Wow.
Yeah, that's nice.
pretty good.
I don't know
That's
what's the rules there though. But you shouldn't be able to get a ticket if you are running the sweepstake, man.
Oh, I don't know. It's still random.
That should go back in the pot.
It just seems like. I mean, how long have you been here at this radio station? I mean, and you organise it, and geez, I didn't even know I won that.
Well,
I just didn't even know I won $100.
It's my first time I've done it. It's
because what did you have there, Mogi?
I had Shiraz. Where'd that come? Second or third?
Second, I think.
First loser.
Yeah. Did we have anyone for the second or third place? Is there a monetary thing there? Or is it just the winner?
So it was meant to be all on the winner, but I'm not sure that Pugs should be. We'll talk about it a lot here, but I don't know if that's fair, man.
Yeah, look, I'm pretty filthy about that. I had a good feeling about this sweepstake.
I am sorry.
The thing
to hear
is,
that,
man,
I know
if you
guys
hadn't
like
have
it a
been
lot.
in it, then we might have won it. And it just doesn't seem.
I don't think that would have changed your chances of drawing the horse that you got.
All good.
Mate, as far as I'm concerned, Pugs,
Yeah.
if you can live with yourself,
Yeah.
fair cop to you, man. Fair cop to you.
Go out and buy yourself a nice dinner, man.
Yeah, why not?
Take
why
the
not?
missus out.
Oh, we could go for a
Don't
curry
choke-
night
don't
with the
choke
money.
on
It's
it.
like a work thing.
On Hoity J and Mogi, why don't you?
Well, it's without a fight.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast.
You know, Mogi, I was talking about, how I've been struggling on some fronts lately.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be more specific, the libido.
Yeah.
And we're of a certain age where getting to the point of making love just seems like such an effort. You know what I'm saying?
Mother Nature's telling us to just
Slow
stop.
down. Yeah, I'm like an old ram cast, as they say. And last night I was like, no, you know what? I'm not gonna settle for that. I'm gonna try and reignite and spark a bit of romance with me and my lovely wife of 26 years.
Good on you.
So I got the quill out, and I want to run this by you, see what you think of it. It's a poem that I wrote for her.
Oh, quill.
Yeah. What did you say?
Oh, no, you said you got out the quill. I thought it was a toy from, Peaches and Cream or something. But all good. That you mean a pen or something like that?
Yes, it's a feather pen.
Oh, yeah.
And a little ink fountain.
Yeah,
like a
well,
little ink pot.
ticklish little bastards. See? Hey? Ticklish.
See, now that's an idea. But yeah, here it is. Have you got the music there, Pugs? Hey, sexy lady. I like your flow. Your body's banging, out of control. You put it on me. That's right. Ceiling to floor. Only you can make me scream and beg for more. Her body's calling, bawling, got me crawling up the wall, and my size ain't small. It's tall, and catch a glimpse her clothes be falling. Her neighbours calling, bawling. All the noise is so appalling. They must believe we're brawling, headboards bang till early morning. Hey, sexy lady. I like your flow. Your body's banging, yo. Out of control, yo. A big tune. You put it on me. Ceiling to floor. Ceiling to floor, girl. Only you can make me scream and beg for more.
What's that about?
Well, I mean, you can
It's the thing with poetry.
you can
man.
interpret how you want to interpret it,
yeah,
Mogi. You know what I mean? I mean, Pugs may view it one way, Brooke may view it another way, you may view it one way, and that's the beauty. That's why I write poetry.
Yeah.
From my perspective, obviously shagging.
The Hodaki Big Show. Weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
You'll be aware of the fact that the Big Show does podcasts. We have a highlights package of the show and, of course, the podcast outro. And we've put ourselves forward for the podcast awards, haven't we, Pugs?
Yeah. We've entered a few categories hoping to maybe get a win there, but there is one that is not up to us and is actually up to the listeners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is. It's the people's choice.
The people's choice.
The listeners'
Surely
choice.
we're a shoo-in for that, fellas.
Well, what's interesting about it is we are in the top 10 podcasts in around the country.
Yes.
They've got a ranking system. So you would think that the ones that are at number one would be the people's choice because they make their choice by listening to the podcast.
Yeah.
Correct.
But actually, it's how motivated their fans are
Yes.
to vote for them because they love the podcast so much. So I'll be honest with you, I'm not sure we've got the most motivated fans in the world, but it's a chance for you to prove me wrong.
Yeah.
You know, so
Absolutely.
I'm going to go reverse psychology. It's like our fans aren't going to vote for us, and even if they wanted to, how would they do it?
I think what happened last time was, our fans loved the podcast, but I just can't be asked.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the fellas and I love the podcast, but I've got better things to do,
There's a
like
lot
go
of-
and have a durry.
Yeah, there's a lot of guys out there in their mid-20s that just,
Yes.
they're like you, Pugs.
But what?
Lazy. You know what I mean?
How old
They got
are you,
nothing.
Pugs?
How old am I?
Yeah.
27.
That's mid-20s, man.
Yeah.
That
Next
is
year is
mid to late 20s.
No, next year's late 20s.
Oh, next
You're
year's
straight
late
in-
20s?
You're straight into
Yes.
your late 20s.
Okay.
So how do people do this? How can they help us out here,
Well, I bet
Pugs?
they won't even do it. But
Yeah,
if
but
they
if they
were
do-
going to do it, they would go to nzpodcastawards.com/nominate and just fill in a couple of details. They're literally the name of the potty, your email, a link to where you listen to us, and then maybe a nice comment if you feel like it.
Yeah, and you don't need a nice comment because it should be the number of votes.
Yes.
I think.
Yes, well, that is how it is decided.
Right, so
is-
don't even worry about the comments. Just say mind your own business.
I mean, as we say, it's hard enough getting them to do it in the first place. We don't want to chuck things on there like having to add a comment.
let's
God,
be honest,
yeah.
it's a complete waste of time even mentioning it.
So help
Yeah.
us out, New Zealand. Help us out. Let's win this.
The Hodaki Big Show, weekdays at 4 on Radio Hodaki.
What's on the telly with Mike Minogue?
That was Buddhist-like.
That was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know
went for the
how
high
enjoyable
register.
it is for anybody out there,
No.
but I like it.
You know what it's making me think of, actually, Megan? We should do like a show group chant before we start the show.
Oh, yes.
So we're all synchronised.
Oh, yes. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, man.
Hey, I watched a show last night recommended to me by a mate, old Hoodie J.
Yes.
Last Stop Larrimah, it's called. Nestled deep in the Australian outback is the town of Larrimah and its 11 eccentric residents. When one of them mysteriously disappears into thin air, everybody becomes a suspect. That's a good line. That's a good log line.
Yes.
Oh, I like the sound of that. Now, what a bunch of characters on there. I watched the first one ep in. That's got it all, really, hasn't it? I like the first. There's a couple there that get interviewed who are probably early 60s, seem relatively normal.
And how quintessentially Australian is
Very
she?
Australian.
Yes.
And what I love about her is she will not let her husband say a goddamn word. Not a goddamn word. You
Yes.
shut it. I do the talking. I don't even know why he's there.
Yeah.
Except to be told that he's wrong, which I love.
Just on that couple, by the way, I loved it. There's a moment where they go, so what was it about Larrimah that you fell in love with? And he says, I never loved Larrimah.
Yeah, and
I don't
sa-
like Larrimah.
and she says, probably the better question is why don't we leave? But we better not. But we better not get into that one. And it's like, oh Christ, they've done something horrendous without a doubt.
Yes.
And then there's another old fella who actually he could very well be a young Hoity J.
I knew you were going to do that.
I was trying to get
Is
a
that
photo.
half a tongue, man?
Half a tongue.
Yeah.
He's got half a tongue. He's just sucking on the brews all day. I never saw him smoke a dart, but no doubt he has.
Yes.
But I was trying to get a photo of his legs to send through to you and say, Jesus, fella's got your legs, Hoity J. A joke, obviously, a sad sort of a fella who moved to Larrimah with his wife. She kicked him out of their, whatever, I don't even know if you call it a house, and then he just sits over the other side of the road staring at her and sinking beers all day.
Nice. Yeah. It's real Gatsby stuff.
It's really, it's good, man. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's really, really good.
And he was, that particular character was a long-haul trucker.
Yes.
And they said even when he was doing his long-haul trucking, he just had basically a case of beer in the truck the entire time.
It was low alcohol, but what was his name? Light Can. That's right. Light Can Eddie or something. Yeah, really good. It's just, if it was in New Zealand, it would also be good, but there's there's not an accent I like more in the world than an Australian accent.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
And there's another guy there that he's talking about the town, walking around. I think he has like a bottle of cognac or something in his hand.
That's right. He's wandering around.
It's just sucking on
that.
that.
The only place in town that's making any money is that pub.
And that's the only place in town. Yeah. What did you watch, Pugs?
I watched Blade 2. You know how I watched Blade 1 the
Yeah,
other
yeah,
night?
yeah,
I watched
yeah.
Blade 2.
Yeah.
Guillermo del Toro directed it.
He did.
Which I did not know.
did.
But makes sense. Great movie.
Great movie.
Yeah.
I
Best
might
of the
check
lot.
that out tonight, actually.
Go on, what do you watch?
I watched Village of the Rammed. Really good, man. I mean, because you're into your horrors, aren't you?
Yeah.
Go and you and your partner should check that out tonight. Runs at about 127 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's neat. Yeah, I love a 90-minute movie.
Yeah,
How far did you get through it?
Oh, about 6.
The Hodaki Big Show podcast.
Well, there you go, you massive backbones. That's your Tuesday's show, signed, sealed, delivered. Mogi, what's the plan tonight on this glorious evening, mate?
God, she's bloody beautiful, isn't it? I'll be honest with you, man, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I've got no idea. I've only got to kill about an hour and a half, go home, attend to the kid.
Last stop, Larimar.
And that'll be it. And that'll be it. Yeah, that'll be it.
Good stuff. What about you, Pugs? What are you up to?
I'm going to try to start that show as well. I
Yes.
was supposed to start it last night, didn't get around to it, so pretty keen to give it a whack tonight after I cook tea.
Yeah. For me, I'm going to finish off Village of the Rammed. As I say, I only got 4 minutes into it, so plenty more to see. It was 127.
It's a lot of movie.
Yeah.
Then I'll probably go to the gym. After, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'll be pretty fired up.
Oh, yeah.
And then go to bed.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, listen, it's been a pleasure bringing you this show this Tuesday evening. Check out our podcast. Check out our Instagram account. Until tomorrow, see you later.